What's good? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to the Refill. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. Listen, today we got another great show. We got another great podcast for you. If you're just not tuning in, if this is your first time tuning in to the Refill, this is a podcast dedicated to the Christian hip-hop culture that represents the artists, the DJs, the promoters, the influencers, and everybody who make Christian hip-hop move around, rock and roll, and do all the good things it need to do global-wide. If you've been rocking with us since our very first episode, y'all already know how we get down. Listen, we're not going to stand before you long. We got another great topic, man. I'm glad to be with y'all today on episode 46. We're talking about 3 tips or 3 things that can help motivate you to continue your rap career or your rap ministry in 2021. Before we get into this topic, we're going to do some house cleaning. If y'all can, man, share this podcast on your page. Let everybody know what we're doing. If you like how we get down, let everybody know what we're doing, man. You can follow us on social media at The Refill Show. That's at The Refill Show, all one word. On Instagram, soon to be on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So all the social media spots. We're working on some TikTok things, maybe some Snapchat. We'll introduce that to y'all soon. Also, a new website coming. Lord willing, we've been talking about this website forever, man, but it take a while to get some things done. So, but we do got the new website coming in July. Early July. We're going to try to get it going right after July 4th. So the week of July 4th, which is next week. Hopefully, Lord willing, we have the new website up and running. We'll have every episode from 1 to 46 on there. We have a whole lot of good things on the website. So y'all tune in for that too. One more thing too. If you want to contribute financially to the Refill, man, we do accept donations. People do donate to the show. Since we've been on, we've had a lot of good people donate to the show, and that's just their way of letting us know they like what we're doing. Your donations help us to continue to build this platform. Without money, nothing grows. And we take this money, we put it back into this show so we can continue to stay on the internet and continue to expand and go into different, countries and wherever we need to go with it. Your donations help us do that. So we got the house cleaned out the way. Let's get into the show. Today we're talking about 3 things, or we're going to give you 3 tips that's going to help your rap career, your rap ministry continue in 2021. Some of the things I've been seeing is I've been hearing a lot of good music. I've been hearing a lot of good move this stuff out the way. I've been hearing a lot of good music. I've been seeing a lot of good videos, a lot of new artists, a lot of consistent artists. They're continuing to put out music and content that's good. But for the artists that's struggling with trying to figure out, what to do next. We're in the midst of this pandemic and everybody wearing masks. So what should we do? What's the next move? What's the next play? I got 3 tips for you, and these 3 tips are tips we hear all the time. So it's nothing new. I'm not finna give you a aha moment. It ain't that. But it's to kind of reiterate what we already hear, because some artists, they looking to stop in 2021. 2020, last year, when the COVID pandemic hit, it kind of took a toll on everything. I mean, I have a business. Me and my family have a business. We was affected too. So everybody globally was affected by the pandemic. But the one thing I will say that I seen throughout the whole 2020 was God will sustain you if you be still. Don't get into no panic and just let him do his thing. And he carried us through every month. And so I'm sure there's a lot of other testimonies of people that can say the same thing. So for me, when the pandemic started, I just believed in God. I said, okay, Lord, I don't know what's going on. Just like everybody else in the world, we all don't know what's going on. But you a big God. You an awesome God. You made everything. You see everything. So we just gonna trust you to get us through whatever this is going on, and he's been doing that. So let me get into tip number one. Tip number one for any artist that's looking to continue their rap career, their ministry in the Christian hip-hop space. Number one is God. Now, we hear this all the time. The very number one reason is God. And we have to keep our focus on his power. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, God tells us to stand still and behold the salvation of God. And it took me a long time to figure out what is he saying, stand still. Basically, he's saying, quit trying to figure things out on your own. Quit trying to, we pray to God and then we say, okay, I'm going to figure this thing out on my own. Forget God. Or God taking too long. And that's what he's saying. He's saying, stand still and behold the salvation of God. So that's number one. We have to continue to rely on the power of God, the power of Jesus. We have to continue to rely on him. But how do we rely on his power? That's through praying, fasting, and continue to study his word. Now, when the pandemic first hit, like I said before in the beginning of the show, the beginning of the podcast, I was like, hey, it hit everybody. The pandemic affected everybody, including me and my household. I own a business, and I've been in business 17 years. And so you saw dips, just like everybody else saw dips and declines in their money. And the money was looking funny. But I was like, Lord, again, I don't know what's going on in the world, and everybody putting on masks. We walking around, can't see each other. We can hear each other, but can't see each other. And the Lord sustained us, and nothing failed, nothing declined, nothing. It was kind of like he was like, okay, I'm gonna keep your lifestyle where it's at. We just don't. And plus, we don't do a lot of foolish spending in our house neither. So, but that's another topic for another day. But let me get back to the first tip, which is God, which is keep your focus on who told you to do gospel rap, Christian hip hop in the first place, which is the Lord. Go back. Here's the thing, too. Go back to that time when you first got into Christian hip hop. That how it felt. That hunger, that grind, that grit, that zeal you had. Go back to that in your mind. Let's start right there. And then think about doing the shows in the hood, in the projects, in the ghettos, in the churches, traveling on the road, meeting other artists, doing other things. Go there in your mind. Motivate yourself. That would be the second tip within this first tip, is you have to encourage yourself. You have to remind yourself why you doing this in the first place. See, it's easy to get off track and say, you know what, I'm not making no money. I'm not selling no merch. I'm not in shows no more. But what the pandemic showed me is, first, trust God, and then he'll continue to lead you where you need to go. He'll show you a new thing, like he said in the Bible. He said, behold, y'all, I do a new thing. God is into new things. We think a lot of times, we think he's not, but God is into new things. So we have to remember to continue to pray. That's number one. And I'm not talking about these pretty prayers where you just say some little quick prayer and then you boom boom and you go about your business. No. Sit and talk to God. Chop it up with him. Here's the thing. He already know what's happening anyway. He just want to know how you feel about what's happening. I'm going to say that again. He already know what's happening anyway. We got to remember he made everything. He made every scenario, every ratio, every decision we can make. He already know. Because before we born, God already put the different scenarios and ratios and everything, every decision we think of, he already made it. So it's like we in the game, within a game with God. You see what I'm saying? The game of life. People call it the game of life. So the thing is, continue to talk to him. Continue to chop it up with him. And let him know how you feel. If you like, Lord, hey, I'm tired of rapping. I'm getting tired of rapping. Let him know you tired of rapping. He already know you tired of rapping. He already know you saying, man, I ain't making no money. I ain't got no shows. Ain't nobody buying this merch no more. Lord, what you want me to do? Let him know anyway. He already know. And I'm not telling y'all nothing that I don't do. When I'm praying in my prayer time could be sitting up here at this office talking to the Lord, praying to the Lord. It could be driving my car, praying to him. It could be in the bathroom brushing my teeth or handling my business, praying to God. But it's the truth. You have to have consistent communication with the Lord to understand how he works. A lot of times we want God because of the blessings. You see what I'm saying? Oh, God bless me with this. God bless me with that. God bless me with a husband. Bless me with a wife. Bless me with a car. Bless me with a house. And he's into those things. But he also wants to know how you feel. Give God one of those I'm sick of folks prayer. See, some of y'all ain't never been there. Or you say, hey, I'm sick of this person over here, Lord. You got to help me. I'm sick of that person acting a fool with me, and all I did was help them. You got to help me now, Lord, how to deal with this. So, in 2021, as you continue, ask the Lord, show me what to do. Encourage me because I don't know what to write no more. Encourage me because I don't know where the show's at. I don't know where the next show's going to come in at. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. And you have to do it, and we all have to do it on a consistent basis, not just a one-time thing. We have to do it on a consistent basis. So we have to start tapping into the power of God. See, you can't talk about, listen to me, if whoever listening to this, I'm talking to the gospel rappers tonight. You ain't a gospel rapper, this ain't for you. I'm talking to the gospel rappers. I'm talking about to the ones who rely on the Lord to get them through to the next step, to the next step, and to the next step. A lot of cats ain't rapping about Jesus. That's just the reality. We see it every day on TV. We see it we hear it on the radio. We see it on the playlist. We see it on the Spotify's, the YouTube channels, everything. A lot of cats ain't rapping about Jesus. They don't care. They'll make one pretty song talking about the Lord or God. They won't even say Jesus, they just say God. Oh, God this, oh, God that. God bless me with an award. And my mixtape talking about how I killed 54 people in a Home Depot parking lot with the Draco. But he blessed me with an award. No, he didn't. And see, I'm going to have to do a podcast to talk about how the devil give things too. But we're going to do that. We're going to talk about that one on another pod. That might be the next week podcast. How the devil give things too. And I can show you in the word how the devil say, look, he told Jesus, he said, hey, you bow down before me. Joker, I give you everything on the face of the earth. And look here, you think a lot of these rappers and people just in this world, when they stuck between a rock and a hard place, they not having these conversations with the devil? And the devil's telling them, yeah, just go ahead and worship me. I give you the Bugatti. You want the Bugatti? I give it to you. Just continue to talk about pulling out the Draco and shooting everybody. I got you. The devil give things too. But we'll talk about that another show. But right now we're talking about Jesus and how to use the power of God to get you through this pandemic. Because a lot of artists in panic mode. A lot of artists are like, Lord, I don't have no money. I can't get in the studios. I don't have no money to buy my t-shirts, my merch. You know, a lot of artists saying, shoot, I ain't got no money to buy no CDs, because cats still sell CDs out here in the streets. I know. And so what I'm telling the gospel rap artists is, now is the time to tap into the power of God and talk to him and watch how he move and watch how he operate. See, here's the thing. The Bible says we have to watch and pray. But a lot of times we just want to pray. But we forget about the watch part. He said watch and pray. So while you praying, watch how God move and do things for you. Watch the opportunities that he opened up for you. And don't question God. Lord, is this you? You show? You want me to do this? Or go over here or go over there? Get in this dude's studio? God is a strange God. He said in the Bible, he said, I'm a strange God. And all you got to do is read the Bible. If you want to know who God is, read the Bible. It's in the book. It's right there. Read that thing from Genesis to Revelation, Malachi to Matthew, Job or Genesis to James, all the books. He right there. He right there in the book. So what I'm saying is, now's the time to tap into that God power. You know, listen, before COVID, we rapped real good about Jesus. Oh, Jesus is Lord. We rapped real good about the Lord. And listen, if you're just not tuning in, I'm talking to the gospel rappers. Because if y'all not gospel rappers looking at this, and y'all ain't talking about y'all doing no gospel rapping, this ain't for you. If you want to continue to talk about how much dope you done sold, if you want to continue to talk about fake dope numbers, how you got the Draco and you done shot somebody because they looked at you crazy, this ain't the podcast for you. I'm talking to the gospel rappers. I'm waving the banner for the gospel rappers over here because I'm seeing gospel rappers stop. I'm seeing them get confused and they trying to figure out, I don't know what to do no more. Before COVID, everything was feeling good. It's a big party. It's a big old party. Everything feeling good. When COVID hit, now God said, Joker, you still want me? You still gonna rap about me? Oh, it's looking slim. You don't want to rap about me no more. You don't want to talk about me no more. What happened to the first 5 years of gospel rapping? What was that all about? So it just sounded good, but now when it done got real with this COVID and pandemic and people really dying, you don't want to rap about me no more. Oh, you don't know how to find me no more. You don't know how to pray to me no more. And what God is saying, get back to praying. Get back to encouraging yourself. Remember, we're not just rappers. It's like we ministers, because a lot of people, they're not going to church. So when they see us rapping about Jesus, we the only Bible that they ever see. And you have to remember that. A lot of people that they just lost and they don't know who God is. And a lot of them talking about God this and God that. And they don't know. But what I'm saying is, for the gospel rappers, continue to pray, continue to study, continue to fast. That's spiritual exercise. See, the devil is real too. And see, we love to talk about God, Jesus, and we don't want to talk about the devil. I never understood that. It's like you the president of the United States, but you don't ever want to talk about the enemies of the United States. We got real enemies. That's why we got the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, the Navy SEAL, the Army Rangers. And while we sleep, they are killing. Thank you for anybody who served our country. Because while we sleep and we have our freedoms to move around in the United States, they up at night looking at the enemy, knocking them off their feet with a real Draco. They got something bigger than a Draco. Knocking them off their feet. Because they're enemies of the United States. So when you talk about God, God have enemies too. It's the devil. It's just that simple. It's the devil. Simple. Tip number 2. Tip number 1 is make sure you remember who God is and tap in his power when you feeling confused, when you feeling lost, when you feeling like I don't know what to do. I've been rapping for the Lord. COVID hit. I ain't got no shows. Ain't nothing selling. I ain't getting the money. And for people that's watching, don't get confused. Gospel rappers get paid some money. It may not be in the millions, but it's some doing a couple of thousands. And ask me how I know. I know. Tip number 1, remember, tap into God power. It builds your faith, though. The Bible just said, believe. That's all he said. He said, just believe in me. He didn't say, believe like this, believe like that, believe with your hands in the air, believe with your arms stretched wide. He said, no, just believe that I am and that I can do. That's it. Stand still and let God work. But a lot of times we get confused. We get into this panic. We like, I don't know how this going to get done. Lord, like, get out your own way and let me get out my way. God saying, get out my way, not me, his way. He said, and let me work and let me help you. So we have to remember to turn to God because he's the source and the power. That's why we gospel rapping. That's why we rappers that's rapping the gospel. Think about it. We not just gospel rap. We rappers that's rapping the gospel. I'm not into these cats. I'm like, no. I'm just a rapper. That's a Christian. Man, you might as well do positive music. I'm talking to the gospel rappers tonight. Find your faith. Renew your strength in the Lord. You know, and he going to help you continue. He's going to help you. Ron Daniel can pray for you, but God is bigger than my prayers. He going to continue to help you. You got to tap into the power of God. I'm not telling you nothing I'm not doing myself. Joker, I don't pray just one time, but I pray throughout the day. Driving in my car. Joker, sitting in my office. You have to pray. The Bible say always pray. Never cease praying. That's in the Bible. He said never cease praying. Talk to God all the time. I'm talking to God too. I'm saying, Lord, I'm putting this mix. Listen to me. I'm talking to the Lord. I'm working on a mixtape. I'm like, Lord, how you want this mixtape to go? How you want it to flow? Where the beat makers? How do I mix and master this thing so it can sound good? Because even though we gospel rappers, our music still compete against them boys in the streets. Talking about they done shot 11 folks with the Drake hole in front of a Lowe's parking lot, in front of the club somewhere. Our music still have to compete. So yes, I asked the Lord, I want my music sounding good. I want it bumping. When them boys put it in the back in the back trunk of them 442 old school Oldsmobiles bumping, got 12s in the back. I want that music to bump because I know who I represent. So it have to sound good. So I asked him to help me make it sound good. You know, I'm not everybody cup of tea, and I get that, but some folks get down with what we do here at Divine 7 Entertainment. That's tip number 1. Tap into the power of God when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling confused. Tap into the power of God. He builds your faith. Encourage yourself like David did. Here's tip number 2. You got to continue to work. Now, even though COVID is going on, you got to continue to work. Work on your music. Make music. You are artists. Keep making the music. Keep making the videos. Now, you know, we can't necessarily... No, let me say this. The world is opening up now. We all see it. Look, I went in a store the other day. I promise, I'm the only joker there with a mask on. They looking at me like, why your mask on? I'm looking at them like, why your mask ain't on? I'm the only joker sitting there with a mask on. I'm looking around like, man, I must didn't get the memo or something. I'm talking about in the stores, packed. Now, wait a minute. The workers had masks on and me. All the customers, they walking around looking at me like, man, joker, they didn't tell you? Take your mask off. I said, I ain't taking my mask off, not yet. I gotta get a signal from the Lord when to take this thing out. And I know he'll let me know. But the second tip is continue to work. Continue to make music. Continue to establish your network connections. Continue to group with like minds on Facebook, social media, and find people that's doing the same thing you doing. Iron sharpens iron. That's part of it. Network. Build your networking skills. Networking is not just passing out a business card and say, oh, okay, I just network with somebody. No, network is a continuation of building a relationship with, I'm using a business term, with another business. Okay, so continue to network. Continue to find people that's thinking like you, moving like you. Listen, I'm just going to be straight up with you. I've been in gospel rap a long time. I'm not too apt to work with cats that move halfway. Because I'm going to give 150, and I can't work on nobody that's giving me 25%. They going to get frustrated. They ain't going to frustrate me, because I'm going to tell them, hey, you got to move like this. You gotta walk like this. You got to move like this. You got to continue to do this when you don't feel like it. You got to stay in that studio a long time. You gotta drive. Listen to me. I drive places before COVID. I would drive to events I'm not even a part of just to network with the room. You see what I'm saying? But the promoter will say, hey, bring some music just in case. I said, man, I ain't come to rap. I just come to holler at y'all boys and get on down. Network. Continue to make music. Continue to establish yourself. Listen, and now we can't really go nowhere. What you have to do, wait a minute, hold on, y'all. What you have to do is, I had to make sure the show was running. What you have to do is continue to network, continue to make the music, continue to establish yourself. Do that all the time. And don't stop until God say, okay, you done did enough gospel rapping. That's it. So the first tip is continue to tap into the power of God, which is praying, fasting, studying your word. It builds your faith. It's your spiritual strength. It builds your faith. And encourage yourself. If ain't nobody around you talking to you, talk to yourself. You ain't crazy for talking to yourself. Encourage yourself. Say, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm the best in this. Yeah, I can rap like this. Yeah, I'm the best rapper. Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do that. I'm encouraging myself in the Lord. Encourage yourself. Tip number 2 is continue to work. Continue to work. Continue to build network relationships. Continue to get out your comfort zone. Go places. Go in other rooms where you don't know nobody in the rooms. Man, you know how many, look here, you know how many rooms I went in? Just get in my car, drive, and I don't know nobody in the room. I might know maybe one person. And that might have been the promoter that invited me to the show. When I'm sitting in the room, in the cut, by myself, just chilling. But before the event is over, I done networked the room so good. I done linked up with some new folks with the same like mind. So you got to network. Here's the third tip, because we only got a few more minutes. I call it the repeat. Repeat everything I'm saying. That's the third tip. And somebody looking at this like, that ain't a tip. No, that's a tip. Repeat. Stay in repeat mode. Tap into the power of God. That's the first tip. Continue to work. That's the second tip. And repeat. Tap into God. Continue to work. Repeat. Repeat. Keep it on the repeat cycle. Repeat. Just like when we had them CD players not too long ago, cause they just people still got CDs. You can press that one button, that CD will stay on repeat the whole time. One song or the whole CD. Stay in repeat mode, meaning try these tips every day. Meaning praying, talk to God, studying, fasting, being that witness that God wants you to be. Working on yourself. You see what I'm saying? One thing that I learned working in the gospel rap, Christian hip hop space is it would teach you a lot about you and who you are. You see what I'm saying? And how you need to walk first before God. And we forget that we are ambassadors. We are like the ambassadors of God. I mean, you have to live a certain way. It's not saying we perfect. I never go around people saying I'm just perfect this and perfect that and look at you, you ain't bad this. And you. No. I understand that I need the Lord to help me. You see what I'm saying? I understand that. That's why I live for the Lord. Now, when I'm walking around other people, I don't knock them for what they do. I don't entertain a lot of foolishness, but I don't knock them. I'm not a judgmental, point at the finger person, point at people, telling them, look at you. I don't do that. Because I'm like, God can deliver anybody out of anything. He delivered me out of my mess. So, before I get off this thing, remember, continue to gospel rap. I didn't want to come on here and be super deep, but I'm talking to the gospel rappers they frustrated. They looking for a way out, but they like, what am I do? I've been doing gospel rap for 5 years now. I can't get out here in these streets talking about I'm shooting folks and teaching them how to pop pills and Molly and smoke weed and whatever, So what do? Return to God. Tap into the power of God. Encourage yourself. Make music. And here's another tip too. This was what I was about to say before I got distracted by what over here and something in the studio, and the Lord just put it back on my remembrance. Before the world opened all the way up, do a show in your house. Do it live. You see what I'm saying? Turn your phone around. If you don't have, listen, and here we got some big dog cameras in here, for real. But if you don't got a big dog camera, I'm talking about one of those Canon C200, Canon C300 cameras. You got a smartphone. Turn that smartphone around. This thing right here. Just turn it around. And start rapping in that thing. You got a whole audience right here. All you gotta do is turn that camera around and start rapping in it. And start ministering in it. And tell people, hey, if you like what I'm doing, bless me with in my cash out. Shoot me a couple $100 here, a couple of dollars there, so I can continue to keep this going. If people like what you're doing, they will donate to what you're doing. I know that because they donate to our show, and we use the funds to continue to keep this going. So, listen, keep going, keep moving, keep ministering. Remember, you're a minister with the music. And look, if you're not a gospel rap artist looking at this ain't the show for you. But if you're a gospel rap artist, you got to remember you have to keep ministering the music. Keep going. You guys minister. Because guess what? With everything going on in this world, the word of God still have to channel its way through this world. Meaning it would channel through anything. God can put his word through gospel rap. He can put his word through the NASA department, the people that go in space. He can put his word through the White House, the crack house, the dope house, the gas station on the corner, the good gas station in the nice neighborhood, and the gas station in the hood. He can run his gospel through a Burger King, a Dairy Queen, a McDonald's, a Walmart, the mall. He can move his word through the jailhouse, through the halfway house. He can run his word through wherever, because his word's not going to fail. His word going to continue. He's just looking for people that he can run it through to get it out. So, to the gospel rappers, remember why we do this. Remember why you do this. Remember why God put it in you to do this. See what I'm saying? Not to go around judging everybody, pointing with your finger and telling everybody you this and you that. That's not. God is the judge. We not the judge. God is the judge. But continue to make the music. Continue to encourage yourself. continue to work and network. Do your own shows. Again, we got these smartphones, man. These things sit in the store for $1,400-$1,500. They just as good as a DSLR. It's a DSLR Canon, a Canon camera. They just as good. Turn it around, and you got to turn that thing around, slap it on a tripod, let it stand still. If you can't afford a tripod, put it on a book. Find a book in your house, something that's sturdy, and just set that thing up and just start rapping in front of that camera. And quit worrying about how many people on there. Maybe one, maybe two. Because your audience of 2 can grow into 200. Then it can grow into 2,000. Then it can grow into 20,000. But don't be doing it for the audience and the likes and the comments. Do it because God has told you to do gospel rap and get it out to the people. The Bible said that we should preach the gospel throughout all the world, telling everybody about him. And rap is just a vehicle that he used through us to get his message out. So continue to do what God is telling you to do. Yes, it's going to make you frustrated. Yes, you will be frustrated. You will be mad. Listen, you're not talking to somebody, or you're not looking at somebody that don't know. I know about the gospel rap frustrations. I've been doing this since 2003. Strong since 2003. So I know the frustrations. I done been up and down the roads by myself. The promoters that I work with, they can tell you, yeah, he arrived by himself. He ain't with the street team today. That joker showed up through a tornado, through the rain, and I'm just driving on that 5-hour trip, bumping, trying to get there. Because I know something good gonna happen when we all get together in the room. So continue to pray for the Refill podcast, that we continue to be a strong media outlet for the gospel rappers. That's why we do this podcast. Simple. Anybody ask me why do you do the Refill? I tell them because I really believe in the gospel rap culture. I really believe in the gospel rap genre. And we need media outlets to get the story out, to let the artists have a place where they can send their content, and they can share their stories through our platform. So I'm soaked in. I'm 10 toes down. I'm in it. So just as the street boys go hard for talking about pulling out the Draco, shooting everybody, and rapping about fake dope numbers, I go just as hard for the king. But we over here waving that banner, saying y'all boys need to come over here. Come talk to us over here. So I think I done said enough, man. But before we get off this thing, remember, tap into the power of God through praying, fasting, and reading your word. Continue to work. That's tip number 2. You got to continue to work and create. And that helps your mind stay stimulated with new things, new ideas, new songs you want to write. You know, you listen to beats and you say, okay, that beat bumping. Let me lay something down on that. That thing finna slap in a minute. Get it mixed, get it mastered, put it out to the people. Let the people decide, and then repeat. Then do everything to repeat. Go back to the top. Tap into the power of God. Work. Repeat. So I'm not telling y'all nothing I'm not doing. I really do what I'm telling y'all. I'm not one of these cats that's I'm gonna tell y'all something I'm not doing myself. And for people that know me, I'm talking about people before social media blew up. I'm talking about people that spent time around me. They know how I get down and how I feel about gospel rap, because I've seen it change lives. So we make life-changing music. Y'all continue to make life-changing music. Continue to do that. Continue to do that. Look, I'm about to get off this thing, man. This was episode 46. We're gonna be back tomorrow night with episode 47. Continue to pray for us. Continue to donate financially to the show. Cash out, Venmo, Square. Well, Square be on the website, but right now we got PayPal, Venmo, and Cash out. Any amount would do to keep us going. if you wanna, if you hey, if you want me to come to your city soon, email. You see the email at the bottom. Email us at that email address, and we'll send some information. Because the world is opening up now, we ready to play. Everybody ready to play outside now, so we ready to play too. So we're gonna see y'all next time, man. One last thing, if you're an artist, you want to be on the show, send your info to the email below, and we'll plug in and help you get on the refill. So we're gonna get off this thing, man. Y'all be easy. We're gonna hit y'all with that double chunk like we do every week, and we're gonna see y'all next week. We're gonna get off this thing, man. Y'all be easy. We're gonna hit y'all with that double chunk like we do every week, and we're gonna see y'all next week.